We are going to start with the RHCE course. Let's see what we are going to cover up in this. First of all, we'll cover what is RHCE. Then we'll see the important component of RHCE, the core component of RHCE as Ansible and what it is. Then we will learn how this RHCE can be practiced or how we can study or how we can learn RHCE. So first of all, RHCE is a Red Hat certification, and there are two levels on Red Hat certification. The level 1 is Red Hat Certified System Administrator. It's an entry-level certification, whereas RHCE is level 2 Red Hat Certified Engineer. So what is the difference between the level 1 Red Hat certification and level 2 Red Hat certification? So RHCSA and RHCE basically differs in the manual and automated system administration. As we know what is system administration, the servers and the Linux-based systems, how we can administrate them. So if we are using internal tools and commands, right? So that's something considered as manual system administration. Whereas if we are using Ansible as a DevOps tool or Ansible as a configuration management tool, then that's considered as automated system administration. So we will see what is Ansible in the next slides. But before that, let's see on the exam code, we have EX200 and the one which we are focusing on is RHCE EX294 is the exam code. So guys, let's try to understand what is Ansible. So in Ansible, we have two important components. That's a control node and the manage node. So if we have the main server, which is counted as a control node, right? From there, we can give instructions or we can push the configuration toward the manage node. So suppose we have uh, three computers or three Linux-based servers or Windows-based servers. So basically, Linux-based servers are primarily used on Ansible, but we can use Windows also for the manage node, not for the control node. So in that Red Hat-based Linux system, we can install Ansible. Furthermore, we can have inventory, means the IP addresses and host names of the manage nodes, right? So for the sake of simplicity, I have shown only three managed nodes here, but we can have in the production environment, we can have hundreds of servers to be managed by the Ansible. So it makes the system administration simpler for the administrator. Furthermore, the human errors are also avoided with the help of the control node and the Ansible installed on this. So this is an overview of Ansible for what purpose we are using. So in DevOps, Ansible is used as a configuration management tool. Okay. Now there are various components associated with the Ansible that we can further explore in our upcoming sessions. Now let's focus on how we can learn this subject RHCE. So there are different approach for the technology learning, but we have better approach as a learn by doing. Okay, and we should have a lab setup, the test bed on which we can test our different concept of RSCE, and that's how we can remember it also, right? So on the lab end, we should have Oracle VirtualBox or Oracle VBox. It's a freeware available on the internet, whereas hardware we should have at least the user level laptop with virtualization enabled on it, with the processor enabled with the virtualization, and it should have Intel VT or AMD virtualized enabled and minimum 8 GB of RAM. How we can cross confirm that these setups are there in our machine? Let me show you on my machine whether we have this or not. So if you go to the performance sections, Here you can see virtualization is enabled. Furthermore, we should have more number of CPU, vCPUs. So I have 12 vCPU available. So some of them we can assign to the core, to the control node, and some of them we can assign to the manage node. And on top of that, we should have enough memory to spin up the virtual machines. So in my case, I have around 16 GB of RAM, right? But minimum we should have 8 GB of RAM to run these softwares of Ansible and the virtual box with multiple machines. So how the virtual box looks like, let me show you. So here you can see this is a virtual machine, and in the settings sections, right? If you go to the systems, right, and if you go to the processor, here we should have virtualization enabled on it. On this machine, it is not enabled, so we may face some issues on the virtualization part, but we can enable the virtualization later on. I'll show you how we can do that. Okay, and furthermore, we have to assign some CPU, then we have to assign some number of CPU, and we have to assign this memory. So around 2 GB of memory is assigned on this. So from your 16 GB, 2 GB is assigned on this. And like this, we have to spin up multiple virtual machines on this. So this is in nutshell what labs are required for the RHCE, right? So so minimum we will go with one control node and 2 to 3 uh, manage nodes, right? So like a control node, control machine, and then node 1, node 2, node 3. So we can make the changes on these machines with the help of the control node. Hope this information help you in understanding what is RHC. Thank you.